The Suzuki SV650X. Medyo matagal-tagal na rin nakalabas itong middleweight naked ng Suzuki. Since 1999 actually. Ngayon, kung medyo matagal ka nang nagbi-big bike, maaalala mo na yung pangalan nito ay napalitan to Gladius noong 2009. Alala ko pa yung kulay, it was white and blue. Sobrang type ko to and munti ko na to bilhin actually. Kaso, ako'y kinasal. At meron kaming usapan noon na kailangan ko munang i-check yung mga bike ko bago kami ikasal kasi worried nga sa akin yung magiging misis ko din. So, long story short, ano mo, ibang kwento yun eh. I'll tell you about that next time. Sana ba ako? Then, noong 2016, palit na ang pangalan ng Gladius at balik na ito to SV650. Ngayon, silipin natin ng mabuti ang bagong SV650X. Ito po ang makina moto features. Ang isa sa mga strong points ng Suzuki ay yung reliability nito na nakapartner sa relatively friendly price against the competition. Patindi na rin ang following ng SV650 sa ibang bansa. And hanggang ngayon, sa big bikes ng Suzuki, ito ay isa sa mga top sellers nila. So ano meron? Bale nakapag-update sila ng makina at chassis at napataas pa nila ng konti yung lakas while at the same time pinasa nila yung Euro 4 standards. Ito yung Cafe Racer version nila. So meron siyang bagong headlight, iba yung tangke, iba yung upuan at meron siyang clip-ons. Kulay naman, meron tayong Pearl Brilliant White at Glass Sparkle Black. Type na type ko yung black kasi para sa akin, mas rock siya. Yung forma ng makina at yung chassis halos ganun pa rin. Updated ngayon siya with 68.2 horsepower at 9,000 RPM. Yung torque naman niya ay 42.9 pound-feet at 8,170 RPM. Yung makina at yung throttle response nito, madedescribe ko na smooth yung dating niya, pero brusco din. So para siya isang maginoong lalaking nakabarong, pero handa siya makipagrambulan sa bar. Parang ganun. So approachable siya. Para sa mga baguhan riders, okay rin to. Pero kaya pa rin nito makipagsabayan sa mga hiling ng mga experienced riders. Pag may request ka dito, may ibibigay din.
People I know, places I go, make me feel tongue-tied. I can see how people look down there on the inside.
Sa naalala ko sa nasakay kong Gladius noon, yung mababang seat height na nakatandem sa rake and wheelbase niya ang siyang nagbigay sa akin ng magandang experience sa kantuhan. Yung SV650 series ay isa na sa pinakamatindi pagdating sa handling. In fact, kung meron akong top 10 sa middleweight in handling, isasama ko tong SV650X na to. Sure ball. Pag sinakyan mo to, magigets mo. Sa twisties, mas bababa ka, mas kukunin mo yung mga corners aggressively. At mas makukuha mo to ng mas mabilis. Meron talaga mga motor na sadyang kaya tong gawin. Isa na to doon. Yung trademark handling ng SV650 ng dati, buti na lang nandito pa rin sa bago.
It's that little souvenir will tell you a year which makes my eyes feel sore. Oh,
There you have it, the Suzuki SV650X. When you look at it, of course, it looks retro-ish. It looks retro-ish. It's not full-blown retro because the tank is a bit on the modern side, but everything else looks like it's older. That said, I would just like to mention that I feel this bike, as I mentioned while I was writing about, is faster than it looks. Now, let me zone in into one of my favorite V-twin engines of all time. I have experienced their 650s with my V-Strom. I absolutely love that bike, and with this engine fitted in this configuration in this bike. Man, you're talking about a lot of joy. You're talking about a lot of torque, decent power to weight ratio, and a lot of fun. Now, that said, because of that type of performance, I feel that Suzuki can still up the ante in terms of design and pushing it and make it even more retro-ish. I don't know, maybe put some classic quarter fairings over there, like make it full-blown cafe racer. This reminds me of an 80s bike, a retro 80s. It would have been nice if it had full-blown 80s retro. Also, what I would think would be an awesome improvement would be spoked wheels. Putting spokes there would make this absolutely classy looking. Now, in terms of what I would change here, of course, if you're talking about a bike of this design, I would change the pipe, of course. I'll probably put something smaller. I would keep the clip-ons, and although when you look at it, it looks like it's something that anybody can ride comfortably. Actually, this is full-on sport. You got your rear set all the way at the back there. You got clip-ons, so you're gonna be bent forward. This is like true retro race mode. Of course, I would shorten the tail a bit. That's what I would do if I were to custom this. In terms of trim and finish, Suzuki quality, not bad at all, I would say. In fact, of this level, of this segment, in this mid-sized range, I'd say Suzuki would be a bit above average in the sense that they put a lot of good bits over here. The grip I really like. This is really good quality grip. It's nice and sticky, and you can feel that it's not one of those hard plasticky grips that are cheap. So this is good quality, as you can see. The trimmings, the finish, all of that good quality. And the radiator sticking out like that, that's very old school, going from there to there. Trellis frame, of course, proper welds, really good. So imagine my love for the V-Strom 650 and how that now transfers to this in terms of its relatability, because it's essentially the same engine. So everything that I enjoyed about the 650 came out here in spades, in the sense that there's just more oomph coming out because it's a smaller, more compact bike versus the V-Strom 650, right? Now, if there's a favorite part of the bike, I would say this is my favorite part. This whole look is my favorite. It's this part that made me go, uy, okay too. That's my reaction when I first saw this in EICMA. But can you imagine this whole look if I had quarter fairings over here? Like a la cafe racer? That would be really, really nice. In fact, old school full fairing for this bike would make this such an awesome looking bike. In terms of the seat, this is something I would change. I would go for full stitching like what you have here, not this. I mean, for a bike that looks like this, I would go for something more traditional in terms of the seat. It does what it's supposed to do. It kind of looks the part, but if you're going to go into the detail, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm more of a fan of actual stitches over here. Also, getting the right type of brown in a synthetic setting is very, very difficult. So that's why if you're going to go synthetic, might as well go for maybe black or gray. But to go brown synthetic, unless it's the really super expensive type, it will fall short looks wise. However, in terms of the foam, it's nice and spread out. You won't have that much foam, as you can see. But because of this swooping angle over here and how it just cups your ass, it's actually fine. And this is also very, very wide. Tires are not bad. They slapped on some Dunlops here. Although I'm not sure if these Dunlop tires are stock, because this is a Wheeltech bike, as you can see. And the guys in Wheeltech, they really use their demo bike, so I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the tires. Looking at the gauge this time. So as you can see, this is a pretty simple gauge. Nothing fancy. No color except for the blue here and the yellow there. Everything is just that. Oh, why is it on check? It's because of the side stand. I gotta sit on it. Put the side stand up, and the check is gone. Let's see what we got here. That's the odometer. I'm happy to announce I got this bike close to 6,000 kilometers, and I'm telling you, at this point, it's performing fine. That's the thing with getting brand new bikes. Sometimes I wish I'd get bikes that were really used and ridden. That way, the assessment for long term is more concise. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, let's fire it up. So this is what it sounds like. So kung meron akong i-rave talaga dito, ito na yung pagka-solid at stiff ng chassis niya. Hanep talaga. Ito ay dahil sa seat design and kung paano mag-behave yung shocks, yung tandem nila. Parang granito yung dating, di ba? Solid, tigas. So ramdam mo yung pagka-solid ng chassis niya. Mas may sense ka kung gaano kahusay ang paggawa ng SV650.
Talk about brakes. Okay, let's start with the rear. ABS is working, but you can also consistently hear that it is skidding alongside the ABS. So release, release, release. Let's try the rear again. ABS is working, but it is going to show some skids. Go for the front this time, slowing down gently. Front brakes faster, a bit more pressure. Stopping properly, but the ABS hasn't kicked in yet, so let's go faster. There, now it's working. The ABS release for the front brakes is more rapid. It's not like a pumping. It's like a da 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 for the SV50. Let's go faster. 40 kilometers per hour. Nice. I was able to make the front skid a little bit. I don't know if you heard it. It go. So I would say between the rear and the front brakes, more or less, they're kind of at par in the sense that the difference in performance is not that wide of a gap. Meaning in some bikes that have extreme braking at the front, and then the rear is gonna go a bit but the performance for the front and rear for the SV650 is a bit closer in terms of performance. Let's try both this time. So stopping power again for both brakes, pretty good. Go faster. Hey, let's go faster again. Making the ABS work extra hard. Yep, Suzuki brakes, man. Not bad at all. Maybe ibon.
Alam nyo, walang perpektong motor. At kung merong hinaharap na challenge ang SV650, ito yung timing ng pagkalabas niya. Napakaraming choices dyan. May pandemya pa. Oo, this is a classic cafe racer, pero doon sa merkado na yon, some riders might feel this to be dated. Pwede rin ito lagyan ng modern twist. I feel that will be a plus. Pero for sure, meron din market na sapul yung SV650X sa mga puso nila. Mga old school classic riders will definitely appreciate this bike. Yung bagong SV650X ay approachable para sa mga nagsisimulang palang mag-ride. Pero kaya pa rin ito makipag-usap sa mga may experience na. Presyo, 459,000 pesos. Pwede. This is Makina Moto Features. Ciao!
I'll shout myself hoarse with your supernatural force. The female of the species is more deadly than the male.